Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of a NASCAR Heat 5 Next Gen Mod Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we are headed to Darlington for the Southern 500 Throwback Weekend. You can see our throwback in the background. Shout out to Sanok with another banger paint scheme on the car. It's Root Insurance. It's a throwback to Joey Logano in the old days when he was with the number 20 for Joe Gibbs Racing. Looks absolutely fantastic. But we have some news to kick off this episode.
Thanks for coming, everyone. I'm here to finally announce that this will be my final full-time season in the NASCAR Cup Series. I have found other interests in life and am ready to move on after a successful NASCAR career. I'm looking forward to finishing out this season with the 19 team and fighting for one last title in Phoenix.
Hi, this is Mark with VoltSport.com with a question for Joe. Do you have any idea who will replace Martin currently for next season?
We're exploring all of our options. Right now we're looking at my grandson Ty, but we're also watching Denny's drivers with Bubba and Gary. We have time to make a decision, and we'll take all the time we need to make the right one.
Well, the news is out as we roll into the Southern 500 here for Darlington, and Martin Truex Jr. officially has announced this will be his final full-time season in the NASCAR Cup Series. We'll see how he can do here today in Darlington. He was looking so strong in his home race last episode in Dover. Unfortunately, had a tire failure that took him out of contention for a win, although rebounded for a very, very solid 11th place finish nonetheless. So here we are, though, in practice focusing in on the race weekend, and now you heard Joe Gibbs as well answer the question that they're looking at his grandson of Ty Gibbs for that number 19 car, but they're also paying attention to Denny Hamlin's team 2311 Racing, which is myself and Bubba Wallace. And myself and Bubba Wallace are practically dead even, basically just about on points coming into this episode right now. We've been so closely matched all season long so far here. Getting some laps under our belt in practice, was pretty happy with it. You can see the laps right there that we ran, and there was no Xfinity, no Truck Series racing to join the Cup Series this weekend. All the focus is on the Cup Series here, so we jump through into qualifying, and then we're going to jump straight into the pre-race show after that now as we go down through turn 1 and 2. You see the goal up there in the top right at 29.891 as we come through the exit at turn 2. Pretty happy with how the car was driving in the first couple of corners down this backstretch. Of course, just setting yourself up for a turn 3 entry right down towards that white line, and you try to kind of diamond the corner a little bit here, but actually on the exit of 4, I'm going to stay a little bit higher now as we head down this front stretch, and it's going to be close to the goal, but it's not going to be enough. 30.059. So P22, actually a bit better than I expected considering being a couple tenths off. So yeah, I was pretty happy with that. Our teammate Bubba Wallace only 2 spots better, as on pole it's Joey Logano, Kyle Larson joining him on the front row. You see the rest of the top 10, Truex P9 fresh off of his retirement announcement, as you can see the rest of the order. So like I said, no Trucks or Xfinity this time around, so we're going to jump straight through into the pre-race show with Chris Meyers, and joining him, a special guest.
It's Throwback Week in Darlington. Welcome everyone to this historic racetrack. And with me today is the king, Richard Petty. Tell me, Richard, what does it take to be so good around this racetrack?
It takes being as good as me, Chris. You have to be determined and patient to be good here. It's a true driver's racetrack, and that's why you still see it on the schedule today.
The drivers are ready, the teams are ready, and the cars are gridded. Now, let's head trackside and get those engines fired.
All right, then, we are ready for the Southern 500 throwback race. We've got quite a bit of pre-race drama already. Kevin Harvick flat spotted his left front tire in qualifying, so he's given up track position for a new set. Kyle Larson and the 5 team changed engines, so we'll start from the back. Kyle Busch failed tech and joined Larson and Harvick at the back as well. Now some pre-race radio from Denny Hamlin and crew.
Let's get it done tonight, boys. Just want to say congrats to Martin on his announcement as well, and best of luck tonight. I know how much he loves this track.
Alright then, we're ready to go racing here in this Root Insurance number 45 Toyota Camry, ready for some throwback racing. Alongside the 43 iconic number, of course, in the NASCAR Cup Series as we are underway in Darlington for the Southern 500. A lengthy race on the way, 92 laps to be exact. I think it is, as Joey Logano leads the field down into turn 1. Kyle Larson, of course, would be joining him on the front row, but has to start at the back after that engine change after qualifying. Now, Chase Briscoe getting ahead. I'm already slipping and sliding around just a little bit there on the exit of turn 2. Down this back stretch we go, and stuck on this outside with the 47 of Stenos there going through into turn 3. Actually getting a bit of a Darlington stripe already, clipping the wall just ever so slightly on the entry of 3, but nothing too bad. And fortunately, we weren't caught into the wall, because a lot of the time, if you hit the wall in Darlington, it kind of sucks you in, and it's hard to get out of it now. But you can see myself getting down to the inside, which is where you want to be for overtaking purposes. It's very hard to pass on the outside here, no matter how good your car is, especially in a 4-star car. As you see myself struggling a little bit to pass the 47 Sendos, so actually threw a bit of a block there, but I found out pretty quickly that the exit at turn 2 was going to be the sweet spot for this number 45 Toyota tonight. You can see it right there on the exit of 2. Just able to kind of turn down the track a little bit and get up the inside of the car that we're battling, and then down into turn 3, if you can stay side by side, you can sail it off into the corner like that and complete the pass. It's a very textbook overtake that we're going to be looking for all night long. So up into P21, but it was pretty quick that the 17 of Chris Buescher would show his speed, which was significantly more than me, so I let him go by into turn 1, but it wasn't long until Kyle Larson was doing the same thing. Lap 7 now, here goes Larson up the inside, didn't even battle him. What's the point of battling a car that's absolutely hauling the mail compared to you? So now I'm trying to follow Kyle Larson through the field here, and we got up the inside of AJ Allmendinger. It took me a couple corners to actually be able to, you know, make the pass on him, and on the exit of 2, lap 8, there we go, we complete the pass. You see the camera being weird? That's me trying to look back, but my D-pad on my steering wheel is broken, kind of, so it's not working very well. We catch the outside wall right there on the exit of 4, so we give up that spot that we just gained on AJ, and now we're going to immediately try and fight back. Diamonding the corner right there, and then going up the inside again on the exit of 2, and then down into 3. We are going to be able to complete that pass once again on the 16 and set our sights on Austin Hill, who is, of course, in place for Tyler Reddick as we wait on his return, which has no current timeline. We'll have to wait and see. We really don't know. We're going to find out on the fly when Reddick will return in that 8 car. Now, it could be next episode, could be 7 episodes from now, but we get past the 8 of Austin Hill, and now we run down the other Austin Cindric here. He has not been a huge fan of me lately, so I was trying to race him, you know, quite respectful and friendly here today as we go into 3 and clear him for P20. Joey Logano still out in front now, as we actually have some problems up in front of us as we're following Chase Briscoe. Car smoking. It's the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. Oh no, in his race where he announces he's retiring at the end of the season, a track he loves, Darlington, he's going to be an early retirement in this race as he is out with an engine failure already. No caution, so we stay caution free. We're up to P18 after all this, and now just trying to close in on the 43 of Eric Jones, but you can see Logano was getting closer to me. Thankfully the stage was coming up to the end. We start the final lap, Logano's already ending the stage. So, Logano will win stage 1. I myself have Kyle Busch hot on my tail here on the exit of turn 2. He started at the back after failing pre-race tech, and we are sideways on the exit of turn 2. A big save right there, but that's going to give up a spot to Kyle Busch, and I'm sure 10th place is about to cross the line. There it is right there, P19 in stage number 1. So yeah, I mean, overall, not too bad, but not as much of a gain as I had hoped for. I don't really know what to do to the car. It's driving pretty good, it's just lacking a bit of speed.
I think we'll tape you up a bit then and see how it goes here for stage 2.
You hear a bit of the plan now. So Logano, I mean, starts first and has been dominating so far. You see the extra tape going on. Kurt Busch as well in second place. Eric Almirola having a good run. Daniel Suarez as well. And as you guys can imagine, I'm a fan of Daniel Suarez running well. My favorite driver in the Cup Series now. We're back underway for stage number 2 on the outside. Now, not where I want to be. You do not want to be on the outside for any restart at Darlington in NASCAR Heat 5. And we're probably going to find out either right here why or at another point in this race now on the outside of that 16 of Allmendinger. Here comes Kevin Harvick as well up the inside. I'm trying to fight back on the exit of turn 2. You see the bump right there? That is a very dangerous bump, and that's what bites you on the outside lane in restarts here in Darlington. Fortunately, we didn't get it too much this time, but we do get the outside wall in turn 3, and we get caught in it, which is not what you want to see, and we lose several positions on the exit of 4. It goes through the 3, the 7, the 66 of Timmy Hill as well, and just like that, we're down to P22. A bunch of cars, fortunately for me, did get lapped in stage 1 by Joey Logano. So we only dropped down to 22nd because you can see the lap cars around us. Austin Dillon, the 7, LaJoy, they were all lap cars. As Kurt Busch was actually leading in that vitamin water Ford Mustang here for RFK Racing now. And Roush Fenwick Kozlowski, they've had some speed this season, but they just haven't had enough to go to victory lane, and I don't think they're going to have enough anytime soon to be a true race contender, a race win contender. But Kurt Busch showing the pace today now, as you can see myself going for the pass on Greg Biffle, which also does not count for a position. So now we finally got up into the range of running down cars for a position. However, you can see Cole Custer. Actually, Cole Custer was not for a position either. He was P26, the Talladega winner. Joey Logano had actually gotten back past Kurt Busch, so Logano back to the lead. I think just showcasing the pure strength right now that 22 Shell Benzoil Ford Mustang has. I haven't addressed the elephant in the room yet, and I don't know how we forgot about this. You notice that none of the cars have throwback paint schemes, so I've now noticed with this mod, and I don't know why, I'm going to try and reach out. None of the paint schemes are changing in between races. It's only me that can change my paint scheme, but none of the AI are changing paint schemes. So I'm not sure if that's just an issue with the mod. I'm going to try and reach out. I haven't been getting many answers, unfortunately. I still don't know when the mod is coming out. I know a lot of people have been asking. I simply don't know. I have said, when I know, I will let you know. So there's a reason I haven't said anything, because I don't know. I do know one thing. The 2023 mod version now is in beta as well, so we'll wait and see what is happening with that now. I do not have access to that mod, however, but like I said, whenever I find out anything, I'll let you guys know, and I plan to do a full tutorial video on installing the mod and how to do extra modding for yourself, for your personal pleasure, like roster moves and all that kind of stuff, and paint schemes and whatnot, whenever this mod officially releases. Focusing back in, though, on a kind of a boring stage 2, we get past the 34 of Michael McDowell, now working on the back of the 14 of Chase Briscoe. We've been racing around him a bit tonight. He's been having a very solid season. He's well inside the playoffs right now, and you can see the smoke ahead. That's going to bring out a caution. My AI goes rogue as the caution comes out. That ends stage 2. That's Justin Haley who blows the tire going into turn 3. You can see Larson and Elliott missing out on stage points there. Kyle Larson, been a weird one now, but Logano wins the stage over Kurt Busch and Almirola as we're going to come in for 4 tires and feel once again some very slight adjustments, specifically on that right rear tire. But now we're actually going to go into the segment of the ones to watch up in the booth with Mike Joy and Clint Bowyer and Richard Petty.
Time for our ones to watch. I'm going to go with the 22 of Joey Logano.
I'll pick the same car. Looking pretty good he is.
You boys are sleeping hard on that Busch brother duo. Kurt is running great, and Kyle is charged through the field. I got one of them.
All right, well, let's see who's right. One stage remains in Darlington.
I wanted to mention Kyle Larson again. We gained 2 spots in the pit lane, but Larson, as we get ready to go back green once again, he has really been struggling lately in these races, and I was wondering what his rating was, and I actually went into the ratings and looked at Kyle Larson. He has one of the best ratings of anybody in this career mode, and yet he's been having all these struggles, which makes no sense. So I think it's just quite simply bad luck he's having right now, as we can now exit turn 2 side by side here with that 14 car down this back straightaway towards turn number 3. Eric Jones side by side in front of us here with the 17 of Busher. We've had an up and down race so far, but we haven't really left the vicinity of that like 17th through 22nd area. We've been kind of stuck there all race long, and honestly, that's exactly how the car felt. A 17th to 22nd place car. The 14 into the wall after a little bit of contact. He kind of just came down on me into turn 1 and then got himself put in the wall. Joey Logano still out in front here now. And you heard in the ones to watch, Mike Joy, Richard Petty, all going with the 22 of Joey Logano. Clint Bowyer is saying, watch out for the Busch brothers. Kurt Busch, a no-brainer, who's been running up there. But Kyle Busch, who was moving through the field slower than Kyle Larson, has now progressed further than Kyle Larson and now is actually getting up into the mix there for the potential win of this race. You can see myself lap 64 of 92, getting passed by the 48 of Alex Bowman, who's put us into the outside wall right there. A big moment there through 3. He's going to get through, but that's going to bring the 14 as well past me, and we're going to have to pass him again. But a replay of that, I don't think I did anything wrong. It looked like the 48 kind of came up into me right there. Let me know what you thought about that one there, but nonetheless, we would fight back to the inside very quickly of this 14 of Briscoe, sail it down into 3, pass him for P19 now. But what a clean race this has been in Darlington so far. Got to be the cleanest race of the season. Not a whole lot has happened in terms of cautions, but I'm not complaining. I like having a clean race like this once in a while, but I really need a long run for this car to kick in. However, I was losing so much time in the short run that you can see the gap that I have to make up that I can't really make up with the amount of laps that we have left here now. But what will help us is, it appears, Austin Cindric has brought out the caution here in Darlington with 25 laps to go. Everybody has barely enough fuel to make it to the end. So everybody will stay out here, and we will get ready to go back racing behind that 43 of Erik Jones. Now, I'm thinking back on it, I maybe should have pitted here to put on 4 fresh tires because we didn't really have much to lose. We were kind of in the same area all race long, but we got 21 laps to go, and I did have a lot of difficulty passing in this race. Darlington, I mean, just in general, is a difficult track to pass at, given the nature of how narrow this track is and how difficult it is to navigate around. But yeah, I didn't want to really give up that track position because of that reason. But here we are down into turn 3 up the inside of that 31 of Haley, who blew a tire and ended stage 2 a few laps earlier. But here he is now having still a top 20 run, and I'll take a top 21 run in my first race at Darlington as a NASCAR Cup Series rookie. I can't really complain about that, but we still have, 20 laps to, of course, finish that out. Logano out in front, but second place now belongs to a Busch, but it's not Kurt. It's Kyle Busch up into second place. Kurt down into third. Kyle Busch has been slicing his way through the field, slowly but surely now, as you can see myself up the inside of Alex Bowman. Couldn't quite complete the pass. He had the momentum on the exit of 4. Gets back clear of me. He has been running a lot better lately in that Ally Financial Chevrolet and is starting to close in on a playoff position, which is not good for me. As you can see myself now trying to take a look up the inside of Kevin Harvick. We would get alongside him here on lap 77 down into turn 1 and 2. The strong suit of this car, especially right about here, is where this car really prevails compared to the competition. But you can see I wouldn't actually get clear of Harvick all the way until turn 3, and I'm going to kind of force his hand a little bit to back out of it in turn 4, so we get clear for P18 now, and running down Erik Jones here, lap 80 to the back bumper of him. We're going to look to the inside, down this back straightaway side by side, down towards turn 3. He shouldn't really put up much of a contest. We ran him down very easily, and sure enough, we would clear him through 3 and 4. So next up, the focus is on that 48 of Alex Bowman, that 17 of Chris Buescher, now with a little bit over 10 laps to go. Joey Logano was running down lap traffic, and that's going to be crucial. Lap traffic will play a role in this race. Logano has won both stages, has absolutely dominated this race. He won this race in real life, obviously, the spring Darlington race in 2022. Can he repeat that here in game now? As you can see, we run down the 48 of Bowman. This car was kicking in late in the race. We just unfortunately don't have enough time, but you can see Bowman, he was continuing to use enough momentum on the outside to stay ahead of me, so I couldn't quite pass him. Kyle Busch to the lead with less than 10 laps to go. Logano leads like 80 laps just to lose it in the last 10 potentially here with lap traffic, but you see this battle continues, and I just couldn't complete the pass on the 48. He keeps getting me on the outside, and the reason I couldn't complete it was because I need to be able to sail the car into turn 3, but I couldn't because the 17 of Chris Buescher was planting himself on the inside. So here we are. This is a long battle going on. I mean, we started this just after, what, lap 80? Here we are, lap 88 coming to 89, and we're still battling with this 48. It's the same thing over and over again, closing in on the last few laps of this race, and I knew exactly what I think was going to have to happen if I want to beat this 48 and maybe the 17 as well. And we got to the Cup Series, made our name by being really aggressive, almost like Ross Chastain aggressive, and I kind of figured that I was going to have to make somebody pretty upset here tonight if we're going to beat this 48 and the 17. Kyle Busch was approaching the final lap at this point here. He's hoping for no caution. He passed Logano in the last 10 laps of this race, and now looks for his first win in the next gen era with Joe Gibbs Racing. Now his future unclear with Joe Gibbs Racing right now, but a win would certainly help, and he leads on the final lap. White flag in the air for us, no caution. How about this race here now? A lot of green flag racing, which is great in Darlington to see. You see lap cars up ahead should not play a role for us now. We're too far back, but a big move up the inside of the 48. Kyle Busch, however, down the front straightaway to win in Darlington for the Southern 500. We're side by side with Bowman, and into turn 3 I have one objective: move the 17. We've rode behind you too long, son. I'm gonna go for this overtake. So he's slipping and sliding, a huge save, but it works to perfection. The bump and run. We exit turn 4. We're gonna get both the 48 and the 17 in one set of corners to at least get a 16th or a 15th place effort here in Darlington. It's a Busch Brothers 1-2. Logano dropped down to 3rd place. Almirola, Chastain top 5. Daniel Suarez in P7. Trackhouse Racing, both cars looking great again for the 2nd episode in a row, which is great for Daniel Suarez and his playoff hopes. And him running good. Bowman running around my area, not great for my playoff situation, which we're going to check out. But after running behind the 17 and being side by side with the 48 for all those laps, I just said, you know what, I got to move that 17 and try to get crucial points, because in our situation, 1, 2, 3 points are probably going to make a difference at the end of the regular season if we don't have a win. As you can see, we are actually, after that performance, out of the playoffs by 4 points. Kyle Larson's only 15th. Bubba Wallace, the last one in. Suarez only out by 8. Kurt Busch closes into 12 out. Bowman only out by 25. Buescher 28. All those drivers running very, very strong. It's going to be a difficult playoff to make, I think, in a rookie season for us and other rookies like Cindric and Harrison Burton as well. But in the next one, we're 1.5 mile racing at Kansas, which is very exciting for me. So I'll see you guys in that one. Thank you for watching as usual, and let me know what you think about Truex's announcement down below, and of course the race. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day, everybody.